So, it is currently 5 p.m. Yes, 5:33 p.m. That's a lucky number for me. I have been up since 2 p.m. My sleep schedule has been all over the place because I've been staying up really late working on things. So, I had pajamas. I'm going to challenge myself to stay up seemingly more than 24 hours so that I may reset my sleep schedule for work on Wednesday. In that time, I plan to work on a lot of things, dedicate my time to creation in many forms, and with 20 plus hours on my hands, I think I'll be able to get a lot done. Yeah, so this is the beginning. I did a short meditation. Now I suppose I shall do some yoga, perhaps. And we'll see where things go from there. See you later. I will say, I have been sort of all over the place with my eating habits these last few days since, again, I've been like staying up really late and then going to bed really late, so then I wake up at a weird time. So, yeah, I've been indulging in sugars, which is not great. Sugar is wonderful in moderation. And I know that I can be a comfort eater, and with just being a little topsy-turvy, I know that I've been going to sugar as a sort of pick-me-up / calm me down. So, I also set the intention that 8 o'clock to 8:30. 8:30 is the complete cutoff, but I want to have my eating finished for today at 8, and I shan't eat anything until after 8 tomorrow morning. I think this is gonna be fun. I think this is gonna be super fun. Yeah. I think this is gonna be a cool little experiment here. I think this is very doable. I don't know if I've ever stayed up for 24 hours or more ever. But then I'll be like super tired by 8 tomorrow, which is when I'm planning to wrap everything up. So 8 p.m. tomorrow will be bedtime. And then I should be completely tuckered out in order to go to sleep so I can go to work in the morning. Okay, let's get started. So, right now I'm going to write a to-do list of all the things I want to get done within this 24 hours. I know I want to record at least 2 videos along with this one. I want to practice my Japanese, and I want to work on music. And the music part may also include recording footage for the video for the music. In between activities, I will allow myself creativity breaks. I'm not sure how long they will be. It will depend on how I am making progress with my other bigger to-do list obligations. I'm probably just gonna like follow how I feel, but I will make sure to stay on target. And I think with this video accountability technology thing that we're doing here, I do feel it will be easier to stay on track and stay on target. So, truthfully, most of the time I like to try to ignore as much as possible that the concept of time exists. Obviously that's not going to be possible doing this challenge. Sorry, I have a cough drop. I have a cough drop. It was my last one, so I figured, like, why not? Anywho, yeah, the concept of time or whatever. My microwave does not have the time. It's just 000. So whenever I'm tempted to look at the time, I see nothing. Of course, I can't do that with my phone, I don't think, so, you know. But all that to say, I feel like it would be good to put the time on the microwave. I mean, I'm still gonna have my phone, so maybe it doesn't even, like, matter. I don't know, man. I'm just brainstorming right now. I want to be able to count the hours that pass with as minimal math as possible. So I think I'm going to write it down and then cross them out as each hour passes. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. I have made my to-do list. It's a general to-do list. Again, I'm just gonna go with the feeling. I know my main core checks that I want to get done. And I have no doubt, no reservations that I will be able to do those checks. The big ones. And in plenty of time. In plenty of time. Yeah, this should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this experiment. Technically, it's already started, so yeah. Okay, so I'm about to do my yoga, but I came back to the core of why I really wanted to do this in the first place, and I'm hoping that, and I'm setting the intention that this time I have will really allow me to dive into my craft and just give me time to explore what I want to say, how I want to say it, just be with, really without expectation. Of course, there's a few things that I do want to get done with intention, but I don't see it taking me 24 hours to do, let alone even half of that amount of time. So the remaining time, I really do want to give myself the opportunity to dive in. No distractions, no people, no phone, just me and my equipment, me and God, me and spirit, me and my soul, me and my instruments, me and me, me and me, and I guess me and you. I think it's nice to encapsulate this. I don't know what will come of it, but I can only imagine it will be something really beautiful. And I feel I'll be able to make something beautiful out of it, regardless. It is also my intention to be completely honest with what I do Anything that does not happen, I will not say happened, or I will not depict it as if it did. So this will be completely transparent for me and for you. Okay, so it is now 7:10 p.m. I just finished yoga and I'm all zenned out. Since I have about an hour or so left of eating time, I'm going to make dinner and eat. I'm not specifically sure what I plan to do after that, but it's definitely gonna be one of the big goals. One of the big to-do goals. So, yeah, I'm really gonna let it flow. I was reflecting as I was doing my yoga practice, and I know ultimately consistency is my goal. Consistency with bringing my visions to life, bringing my ideas to life, and putting them out into the world. Consistency will always be my goal. I'm not here to achieve everything in 24 hours, you know? But I really just want to see where this time, this dedicated time with myself, with my materials, just with myself, with the divine, where it can take me. Where it can take me, what can come from that space, what kind of focus can I cultivate, how will I deal with the challenge, you know, especially in terms of staying awake. I think that will be the most interesting portion. But I'm also like a night owl. I tend to like being up when the world is supposedly asleep. I really do enjoy, I don't know, those hours. Something ignites in me in those hours. And because, you know, with how unfortunately most of the world is set up and, you know, my job, I do have to prioritize sleeping at night because I have to get up early to be up during the day. I have to pee, which is why I'm sort of doing this little pee-pee dance. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll become enlightened or something during this time. It's not a goal, but it is welcomed. I'm just open to anything and everything that can arise with this experiment. Yeah, I'm gonna go pee now. It's probably not healthy that I'm holding it in so long. Okay, I have relieved my bladder. I am going to cook dinner. I'm just gonna make something really simple, keep it really light, be nice to my body, because as I stated before, I have not been very kind to my body and I've been stress eating a lot of sweets. I made cake and I got ice cream, so I've been having cake and ice cream. I had 2 bowls of cake and ice cream yesterday, which were very delicious, but I'm sure my body did not appreciate that, especially because I had one of them before I went to bed. So it's just gonna be some white rice, and I'm just gonna throw some vegetables on top of it, maybe a little bit of tuna. Call it a day. My body is giving me like the signals, like, yeah, this is okay. I've been noticing that my body will tell me what it wants to eat and what is not what it wants to eat. Like, it will give me, I literally feel it, like in my stomach, in my solar plexus or whatever. Like, when I think of just plain white rice and vegetables and maybe like a little bit of cheese or something, my body's like, yeah, that sounds good. I probably still will have a bowl of ice cream and cake, and that's fine. And that will be what I've eaten today. Yeah. This is my go-to because I can make a lot of rice and then I just have it so I don't have to keep making it. I know technically you're not supposed to make that much. You're supposed to like finish the rice that you make in that day, but we're gonna do it this way because it's more efficient, okay? I haven't got botulism or whatever yet, so it's probably fine. I like exclusively eat jasmine rice. I don't know, I don't really jive with any other rice. This is my favorite rice. It's the perfect length, it's the perfect texture. I don't like the grains that are like really long. It just seems really perfect to me in terms of like just a base rice. My secret is I add in coconut oil and coconut cream. If I have coconut cream, which I don't right now, so it's just gonna be coconut oil. Just add a little. I don't know what it does, but it's really good. It does something to it. It does something to it. It's really good, and I'm obsessed with coconut rice, so. I don't know if I'm allowed to show the label. Okay, since it is 7:26 and the rice is gonna need at least 20 to 30 minutes to cook, I think I'm gonna set my little end time for kitchen hours to 8:30 to 9. I don't think it will take me until 9 p.m. to finish cooking and finish eating. The vegetables are already made. I just need to throw them on top. So we're really just waiting for the rice. In the meantime, I could work on my Japanese. I just thought of that. We'll do that. T-shirts. 切って3枚紙何枚ですか何枚ですか3枚ください So the rice is now finished. I have assembled my dinner, but it is now 8:06. So I'm just gonna let myself eat. I'm gonna have my little dessert, and when I finish, I finish, and that will be the last meal for the night. So, yeah. I'm making myself some green tea. Hopefully that will give me an energy boost for the long ride ahead of us. Okay, dinner is done. I actually felt quite full, so I did not have my cake and ice cream, but that is okay. It is now 8:45. I know it's the military time. Yeah, it's 8:45. So now we are hitting our first big to-do. So I've written my to-do list. I think for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna go down the list as it is in order. So I have 3 videos to record, and I will do those as specified. I did do some Japanese practice, so I'm gonna check that off from my extras. I did do yoga. I did not touch grass, but we have at least 23 hours to do that. I do want to prioritize most of the time to be focused on music. So I feel like if I can get the other things out of the way, the one-off videos recorded and finished, the bulk of the rest of the time can be just working on music. That's the plan for right now. I'm not feeling tired. Yeah, I feel alright. I don't see myself having too much of a problem staying awake through the course of the night. I will say I'm more concerned as we reach into the tomorrow day hours. So we'll see how things go. Okay, I figured this would be a good time to check in. It is now 10:37. You can see here, hopefully. And I have completed big task 1. Yeah, I've actually completed. Yeah, I guess it would all be included in big task 1. So I finished the video. It's edited and I'm waiting for it to render and export, and then I'll decide whether I want to schedule the post or if I'll just hold on to it now and do that at a later time. But big task 1 has been taken care of. So the next task will be music related. So yeah, we're on to task 2 already. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel really good. It feels nice to be able to just dedicate this time to completing all these things that I've had in the back of my mind for a while. And it's nice to feel like I have plenty of time. Most of the time, I find it hard to organize my time throughout the day with everything that I want to do, and then I also have to get to bed at a certain time, and all that stuff. But feeling like I have literally 24 hours to just work on stuff, I don't know, it just feels nice. It feels like I don't have to rush. And as I was doing the first task, I sort of caught myself because I was feeling that push to rush just so I could tick off, check that box and finish. But this isn't really what this isn't what this is about, It's really just supposed to be a way for me to engage in my crafts, give me the time to dive into it and sink into it. It's not just to check a box, So I'm setting the intention that I take my time and I move with conscious consideration through each one of my tasks. I have full faith that I will complete everything I set out to do and more. And I've already exceeded what I meant to do with the first task. So it's not that I feel like I'm gonna run out of time at all. So from now on, from this point forward, I'm going to be present with each step, each moment in this 24, maybe 22 hour period thing. This 22, 24 hour, whatever, hours day experiment. Yeah, I suppose I will check in again soon. False and new core beliefs, old core beliefs that have been here for a while. The belief that people don't let life exceed your expectations. Let life prove you wrong. Okay. It is 2:38 a.m. I've been getting a lot done. I've got 2 of the major checkpoints down, so I can just focus on music for the rest of the time if I so choose. I do, and I when starting this, I did set the intention that a big chunk of this 24-hour period was going to be dedicated to music, and only music, creating music, playing music, practicing my instruments, things of that nature. So with the 2 big blocks or big check marks done, that's really it. I pretty much have the rest of today to dedicate to music. And that's pretty much what I wanted. I have to pee again. I will say, I have not showered, so I would like to take a break, take a quick shower, and I guess reset and feel accomplished for this first leg. We have crossed over into the Tuesday territory, or the next day territory. I will say I'm feeling like maybe just the first little inklings of, oh, it would be nice to lay down. But I'm not like dozing off in my seat, can't keep my eyes open, tired, so I don't know. And again, I also think like something in me gets awakened in these hours. So I'm not thinking that I'm gonna have a problem with falling asleep anytime soon. We'll see though. I shall update you as we go forward. And just so you know, I'm not lying. Just so you know, I'm not lying. Here we are. So yeah, I still have to pee. So I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, I have to be transparent about something. I am getting a little peckish. I am going to stick to the 12-hour fast, or yeah, the 12-hour fast, essentially. And I'm not gonna eat until at least after tomorrow morning, 9, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock at least. I did end up having my little bowl of ice cream and cake after dinner, which obviously was after our 8 o'clock cutoff because of the time it took to make the dinner. So I've just pushed the end of the fast after, whenever I finished, which was about 9:10. I know that. So yeah, I feel less tempted to eat anything now that I've spoken about it. So I don't think, even if the temptation arises, I don't believe that I will give in to it. It's not that intense. Especially because I've set a goal, and I mean, we're already Tuesday. It's the next day. So really, it's only like a matter of hours now that I have to wait. That's not that bad. I didn't even think about that until now. It's not like I'm literally having to wait a whole day until I can eat again. It's just more hours. But okay, I'm gonna take a shower now. Okay, so it is shower time. I am in the bathroom. Yeah. I'm gonna be less stinky. Yeah, let me not finish that sentence. All right. See you in like 20, 30 minutes. What time is it actually? Before I go, what time is it? It's 3:41. I have also been sneaking in some chores that I've been putting off, like the dishes from Thanksgiving. I also did my laundry, or I'm doing my laundry, and we still have at least, what is it? It's 3 a.m. I have until 8 p.m. So, or 3-4. So we'll say 4 p.m. is 12 hours plus another 4. I still have like 16 hours. Dude, I think we're making good time. I think we're making good progress. All right, I'm gonna get in the shower and I will see you later. Okay, so shower's done. I've had a little dance party in here. Check. I switched my laundry loads. Check. It's music time. I'm excited. I'm also, there's also that little thing that I don't want to verbalize it, but something comes up when you're about to do something that you really care about, kind of thing, and there's that tiny little part that maybe wants to procrastinate. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to pushing past that, and I'm glad that I have, seemingly it feels like all the time in the world, to work through that feeling. And again, I know it's a consistency thing, but I'm just very grateful that I have ample amount of time to just sink into this process, sink into it, and not feel like, okay, I have to get this much done before I have to go to bed, or I have to get this much done because I have to go to work, or whatever. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm clean. I smell nice. I feel good. Let's do it. So I was also debating whether I wanted to come in here to record, because it has a little nice ambiance, and also the bathroom is attached. This might be an option. I don't know. There's a nice vibe up here. We'll see. Alrighty, we're back at our desk station. I have my first project of check mark 3 open. I'm ready to get started. I'm probably gonna turn on the colorful lights, get a little moody in here. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the washing machine. That was also another reason why I was thinking about maybe going upstairs to do that, so that the washing machine's sounds. I just realized I didn't start the dryer. Yeah, the machine sounds don't bleed into what I'm recording. I'm assuming the music that you'll hear in this video will be a part of what I create today. I was gonna say tonight, but it is not nighttime, it is early as fuck in the morning. Oh yeah, as for that, our time check. It is currently 4:56. Yep, 4:56 a.m. There you are. Focus. 4:56 a.m. I'd say this 24-hour challenge has been quite a success already. And again, I'm still not really feeling tired. Truthfully, I woke up at, like 2 p.m.? So I guess that's understandable. Technically, it's really only been 12 hours that I've been awake, or 14 hours that I've been awake. I don't know, yeah, I guess we'll see when we start to hit that like 24-hour mark, but for now I'm alright, and I have plenty of hours ahead of me to, again, dive into my craft, and hopefully I trust that I will make the most of this time. And I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna rush it. I do want to be efficient though, so I'll invite in that guidance from sources of love that wish to help me. That's it for this checkup though. I'm gonna get all moody, turn the lights on, and we'll see what comes out. Okay, truthfully though, my brain is giving me more of those I want to eat thoughts. I mean, really, realistically, I have like, 4 or 5 more hours of this fast. I can do it. I was tempted to eat a cashew, but I did not. I'm committed. I'm committed to this goal which I have set. Alright, let's start on the big one, the really big one, the biggest one of all 3. It's a pleasure to witness. It's a pleasure to be. It's a pleasure to witness. It's a pleasure to be. I got very close to playing Connect 4 with someone. He seemed nice, but he smiled a bit too hard and wide when we first met eyes. I got scared. Scared of what was behind them. Scared of regretting following my curiosity and starting a conversation. And now I wish I had acted sooner. Could have learned more about him. Such a fleeting, beautiful moment we created. You seemed hella cool in that brief encounter. I don't want to disappoint you anymore. I don't want to disappoint myself. I'm realizing the things I thought I wanted are changing. That's a good sign. I'm growing. How do I deal with the demon that lurks beyond this house? I had flown to the sky and brought myself right back down. I know part of me still longs to be saved, swept away. I don't want to stop believing. I see it happen all the time. Maybe that's not meant for me. Maybe that's not meant to be my story. Maybe I'm here to learn how to save myself. There's still a dull hurt, a small wound longing to be held. Well, I'll hold you. I know that's not what you want, but I'm here. Alright, we are officially hitting that point where I can say I am getting a bit sleepy. I've committed to this journey though, so it's 6 a.m. It's 6:13 a.m. Yep. I have been making progress with the music. Still on project 1 of the music checkbox. But we still have at least 12 plus hours to work on more stuff. So we'll see again how this unfolds. I am thinking that this might be a good time to touch grass. I did want to go touch grass while it's still slightly dark outside, so perhaps this will be a good pick me up. Maybe the cold will shock me awake a little. Well, I was going to touch grass, but it seems to be raining. So I suppose standing here with my second cup of green tea and breathing in the negative ions should be grounding enough. I am hoping this green tea picks me up a little bit. Again, it's not dire or anything. I'm not feeling like, again, I'm gonna keel over if I don't lay down right now, but I'm definitely feeling something now. My brain is trying to bargain my way to bed. This is nice though. Okay, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm definitely feeling sleepy. I don't intend on going to sleep, but I am feeling sleepy. But this is the most important leg of this 24-hour period. Not because of the challenge, but because this is the most impactful craft, you know, the music. And maybe, I don't know, this half-dazed, sleepy atmosphere will bring through something really unique. But I don't intend to quit this challenge before I've really hit my stride with the music, and I still have over 12 hours to do that. I wanted at least a minimum of 12 hours. So yeah, I'm liking this vibe though. I think the rain came just for me. So the sitting outside was a good idea until it wasn't. It was just entirely too cold, and I'm sure the fact that it was raining didn't help. Like, I was playing the guitar and my fingers were getting so cold that I could it was getting hard to like press the strings. So I've migrated indoors. I have the heater on. I don't know if you can hear it. And if you can, I hope it's not too distracting. But yeah, I'm back indoors. I'm back indoors in the heat. And I have my cozy setup on my bed. Hopefully this makes for good music channeling. I don't see why it wouldn't. I'm also hoping that it's not going to tempt me to go to sleep anytime soon. I am committed to staying up the 24 hours. And I was thinking, right? I woke up at 2. And we can even say I woke up at 3, if that, whatever. So if I make it to 2, that's technically 24 hours. I still don't want to go to bed at 2. If anything, if I really, really feel like I'm about to crash out or whatever, I'll go to bed at like 7, But I really want it to be no earlier than 6 p.m. that I'm going to bed. And I can do it. But for now, it's guitar tunes and cozy bed vibes. Yeah, I will say again, I feel like this whole experiment is already a success. Even though I feel like I haven't really put the nail in the hammer on this last check mark, this music check mark. I've done a lot of work. Got a lot of stuff done. And I feel like I've used my time very wisely. And I still have so much time. Still have so much. So, yeah. Let's continue, I guess. Okay, before I cozy myself completely in the bed, I did want to give a time update. So, it is currently 7:47 a.m., which means I have at least 2-ish hours left on my fast. I don't know if letting myself eat something after the fast is going to aid or make it worse. This impending tiredness. I do feel a little bit better that I'm not in the cold, but I feel like a headache coming on, and like the lights from all the technology from the camera is like becoming overstimulating. So I'm definitely feeling the effects of the lack of sleep. But I'm committed. And I mean, I've made it this far. I can't give up now, I've made it this far. And again, the whole point of this really was to give myself the maximum amount of time to dive into music creation. And I want to give myself this time. I want to commit this time, And I suddenly feel less tired. So, yeah. It's almost 8, which means we are at the 12-hour ish period. All right, let's do it. Y'all, it's getting tough. It's getting tough. It's getting difficult. I feel a little bit more energized because I had to pee again. So I had to stand up and leave my warm cocoon. I mean, yeah. Definitely my body is giving me sleepy time signals. And this honestly makes me want to look up, like, what happens if you stay up for 24 hours. Because I don't know if this is exactly healthy. Obviously, I don't think it's the healthiest decision in general to stay up for 24 hours. But now I'm curious as to what this actually does to my body. And honestly, I'm thinking I wouldn't mind letting myself go to sleep at like 6:30. Because the last time I stayed up for 24 hours, I slept for 15. And I do have work tomorrow. So I want to give myself ample amount of rest so that I don't feel dead on my day at work. And if I go to sleep at 6:30, that will give me at least 10 hours. Right? If I get up at like 5. Yeah. If I go to sleep at like 6:30-ish. Yep. This is the part we've been waiting for, huh? I should be fine. I am waiting for that fasting clock to clock out. Yeah. But I got this. I got it. I got this. We got this. Oh gosh, that took too much energy. Oh. What time is it right now? It's 8:20. I have 1 minute 11 on my fasting timer. So, yay, I guess. Oh, I like this little cozy setup though. It's quite nice. Alright, my camera's about to die, so I'll be back. Okay. Yeah. I honestly feel like I'm going a little bit stir crazy. I did look up apparently the effects, long and short term, on not sleeping for 24 hours, and it was nothing serious. They said apparently like at a certain point your physical impairment would be the same as if your blood alcohol level was 0.1 or whatever. But no long-term effects, so I can't, with reasonable cause, stop this challenge. I'm just gonna say if I make it 2 p.m. that I completed the challenge. By 2 p.m. though, it's like, it would be such a shame to give up at that point. I feel like time is like really slowing down, and I feel like I usually feel like that when I'm working on music. It's like time slows down to not even a crawl. It's like minutes freeze for minutes, if that makes sense. It's only 8:53. It's still 8 a.m. I feel like when I started this, the hours were passing so fast. And of course, now that I'm tired, everything is like snail paced. But again, this is good. It's not like I have anywhere to be or anything I really need to get done. This is just being, letting the music come through, taking stock in a sense. Yeah. Yum, yum, yum. I guess the good news is I get to break my fast soon. Maybe that will give me a little bit of energy. I just had a thought to eat cake and ice cream for breakfast, which I'm not gonna do, but I also shouldn't eat anything heavy that's gonna give me the freaking itis. Cake and ice cream wouldn't give me the itis, but we're probably not gonna do that. It wouldn't be a challenge, I guess, if it wasn't difficult. You know, this is where the challenge actually begins. The first part was nothing, you know, this is where the challenge begins, so. I'm gonna give it my best. Yeah, I don't have a doubt. I really don't have a doubt that I'll be able to handle this, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Okay, so the timer for my fast has gone off. Truthfully speaking, I at first was not even feeling like getting up to eat, but right now I feel more motivated. So I might do that. Yeah, I think I'll have some eggs on top of some rice or something. Yup. We'll see. We shall see. So, I have pretty much a simple breakfast. I made myself 1 egg, and I'm heating up some leftover rice from yesterday with some tuna and some vegan feta. I also have some homemade Texas Roadhouse rolls that have been in there for God knows how long, so I figured I would just go ahead and eat them now before they go off or whatever. So yeah, I do feel a little bit more rejuvenated. I don't know if it's just because I'm eating, but hopefully this carries over a while. It's crazy to think. I don't even want to like do the math, like how many hours is left. It will be what it is. And honestly, you know how, you say you're not going to do the math and then your mind tries to do the math real quick. If it's coming up to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, that's 4 hours. And then maybe another 3. So 4 plus 3, 7 hours. But for the sake of the 24 hours, we're going to say 4 hours. And that's not bad. That's not bad. It's definitely doable, I believe. And I trust myself to do it. Like, unless I unconsciously pass out. I'm feeling a bit better now. Not as tired as I was. And maybe the warm heater and stuff didn't help. Maybe it was rockabying me to bed even more. But yeah, I'm gonna have my break fast and get back to work, I assume. Yeah. Okay. It's 11:20, just about. I'm doing better in terms of the sleepiness. I still feel a little bit, of course, lethargic, but I feel like I'm getting into the flow. I'm getting into the flow with my music, and I'm not really fighting sleep right now. I feel like if I laid down I could go to sleep, but I'm in the flow. So I don't want to spend too much time away. I wanted to do a quick check-in. I feel like I'm in a really good place right now. That, again, as far as the 24-hour thing goes, I already consider it a success because of everything that I was able to accomplish. I really don't feel like any time was wasted, That feels really good. That feels really good. What's the point of a 24-hour challenge if I'm just gonna sit around and do nothing? I don't know. It was to dive into my crafts, and that's exactly what I've used this time for, so I already say it's a success. It's 11:20 now, which means we have at least a few more hours until we really officially hit the 24-hour mark. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna let time do its thing. We're gonna stay in the present moment. I hit my guitar stand. We're gonna stay in the present moment, and yeah, I'm not gonna worry about hitting a particular time. I'm just gonna be here now. Yeah. And maybe the green tea is finally kicking in. I've had at least 3 cups. And I did not get the itis from eating breakfast, so hooray. Alright. Gotta stop stalling. I also like sitting in front of the heater. It's right by my legs right now, but we're gonna get back to it. I will see you at the next check-in. Okay, so I forgot what time it is. It's at least 12 something. Yeah, 12:12 actually. Ooh, angel number. Yeah. It's definitely getting challenging. Eek. But I'm managing. I definitely feel like I'm making good progress. I wanted to just give myself time to let ideas flow, so that's really what I've been doing. So I feel I'm gonna give myself like maybe a 30-minute break to just sit and do nothing and lay in the darkness, because it's clear that this constant stimulation is overstimulating me. So I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes to just lay in the dark. I don't perceive that I'm so tired that I will fall asleep doing that. I'm just gonna allow myself 30 minutes to take a break and do nothing. And after that, I will get more concrete in terms of finishing the big 2 projects that I had in mind. Again, all in the same music checkbox, but the 2 projects that I had specifically in mind. And then I feel like I will be able to really check that box off completely. Yeah. I probably still will work on other things related to music after finishing that. Of course, it will depend on how long it takes me, but again, I don't see it taking me the remainder of the time. Maybe until 2. I can see it maybe taking me up to 2, which we will then complete our 24-hour challenge. Yeah, my head hurts. Man, my head hurts. I don't think it helped that I had the heater on for so long, because now I'm like too hot. Yeah, I think I just need like to turn the lights off and just not have any eye stimulation going on, because I think that's what's making my head hurt. I also have to pee again. Surprise, surprise. I'm already claiming my victory. I stayed up for 24 hours. It wouldn't be the first time. I know there have been other times where I have stayed up for 24 hours, but I'm pretty sure each of those times I was under the influence of some type of substance, which was sort of why I didn't want to go to sleep, and also why I had energy. But in this case, it's just pure me. Okay. I definitely have to use the bathroom in more than one way. So I'm gonna go do that. And I guess I shall see you in the next check-in, whenever that is. I have a confession to make. So, the 30-minute break did result in me falling asleep. Surprise, surprise. It is now 3:46. And I assume that concludes our 24-hour challenge. And I guess technically I failed, but in all reality I did not fail. And I know that I pretty much accomplished everything I set out to do. And more. I still have some music stuff that I want to concretely finish before tomorrow. And that will be it. Oh, it does kind of suck though. It was like an hour before. Yeah. Dang. This was a very interesting experience. I don't think I'll have any trouble going to sleep tonight. So, I have that to look forward to. And it's not like I've done any strenuous activity, but my body is so sore. And I don't know if that is in relation to the lack of sleep, or I guess just being upright for so long. I don't know. Like, as soon as I laid down, it was like I could feel my knees and my feet, even though it's not like I've been on my knees and my feet all day. Maybe it's from sitting for hours and hours or something. And also my upper back. Yeah, my upper back was, incredibly sore. I do think that is from sitting up all day, having the guitar strap, you know. I'd say all in all, this was a success. I'm not sure how to wrap this up beyond that. I will say I expected to spend more time doing music. Again, the goal wasn't to fall asleep. But I do still have time. It's only 4. And again, there's some things I want to solidify with what I did create, so I'll keep going. I don't know if this is the end of our checkup. Probably not. This doesn't feel complete. So, I'll see you soon. Okay, well, it is 4:47 p.m. And I mean, obviously I've had a little cat nap, so I'm not dead anymore. Yeah, I feel good. I still intend to continue to work on music for a couple more hours. I'm sure I can definitely make it to 8 now. I will say, I expected myself to spend more time just creating, just outputting music, and maybe that's where, I don't know, if anything, I didn't meet up to my expectations of the music chunk time. Not that I wasn't working on it. I guess I expected myself to be playing more than I was in the software editing and such like that. But I won't be too, particular about that, because again, I did want to finish and get particular projects finished, which requires me to work in the DAW. So what this 24 hours has taught me, what is this, or 23 or something. Somebody else do the math. It's 4:49. What has this 24 hours taught me? I'm not sure. Truthfully, I'm not sure. If anything, I feel like this 24 hours has taught me that creation is a lot easier for me than sometimes I perceive it is. If I just let myself create, you know, this 24 hours has taught me that I can be focused. I can be very focused. This 24 hours has taught me that for the most part, I know how to delegate my time efficiently. Again, the only thing that didn't, I guess, match or exceed my expectations is the music part. But it was still good. It was still enjoyable. I mean, I still think I made good progress. And I feel like if I had done it any other way, if I did it in any other order, I'm not sure I would have gotten as much done as I did. I think it was good that I started with what I did. It just seemed like the natural flow. It was a really good flow, and I accomplished a lot. And the music was, again, there were projects that I did want to concretely finish, but it was really just supposed to be a time to be with my instrument and see what comes out. And that is what happened, you know? That is what happened. I will say, I still have to finish the projects that I intended to, but it's not there. I'm very close to finishing already. There's like a couple things that I need to do, and then they'll be done. And it seems like if we're going by the 8 p.m., I have at least 3 hours to do so, and I don't see it taking me 3 hours. Yeah. What this 24 hours has taught me is things don't always have to be hard. You can keep things simple. I can keep things simple. When I was making the music, I just kept thinking, like, this is a simple melody, but it's more than enough, you know? I don't have to think about how I can complicate it. And again, without thinking, I just hear other stuff, you know? I hear other things that I want to add. It's not something that I have to force and concentrate on. It just arises. And I feel like I was able to catch it and practice catching it. Because that's something. It does, that's usually how it happens. Where I'll be playing, you know, a simple loop or something, and other things will start to arise. But of course, they arise faster than I can materialize it. So most of the time, it ends up I end up feeling like I'm scrambled because I'm trying to find the most efficient way to bring it out of my head. But you know, again, I feel like without the time constraint, you know, feeling like I had plenty of time, it allowed me to just be with the process. And I don't mind things being imperfect. Of course, I would like them to be perfect, but I really just, for now, I want to allow myself to just get the ideas out. Get the ideas out and then edit them later, you know. I feel like I'm just rambling now. I don't know if there's a bigger overarching theme. Honestly, again, this really wasn't about staying up 24 hours for me. This was really just giving myself as much time as I had available to dive into my craft, to complete things that I've been wanting to complete. Yeah, to like check some boxes. And I've checked damn near all the boxes. And I feel like it again, it's opened up room, it's given me more ideas. It set me up. It set me up so that my next projects, I have more of a process. Yeah. I feel like I've been still, in a lot of ways, figuring out what my process is. And I think that's what this time has shown me a lot. Little tidbits about my process. I think I work better if I just have, again, objectives. It doesn't have to be at this time I'm going to do this thing. But as long as I have the objectives, I feel like if I let it, it will flow, you know? The order in which they are meant to flow will happen in a way that is most efficient for me. And that, I do feel like that happened. Again, adding on top of, or, adding the lack of sleep and the lethargy, that didn't make the music process the most focused, consciously focused activity. But I was getting in the flow. And I feel like I'm working through that slight resistance, when you are trying to do something that you really like or you're passionate about, and you're still trying to get your footing in a sense. Or just, that slight paralysis when you turn a new page, you have a blank canvas, a blank slate, and you have to make something. And there's something intimidating about that space, but I want to feel all the necessary feelings in order to walk through it, push through it, go through it, and create something. Create something. I am glad that I documented this. Most of the time when I've done little experiments like this, it's been completely on my own, not on film. It's just been something for me to, I don't know, do and ponder about. There was a day that I went no technology, and I think maybe I just wanted to really do the no technology, so maybe that's why I didn't use the little handheld camera, but I think it would be interesting to document what I find in future random experiments. This was not something I planned. I just had the idea, and here we are. And I mean, I think that's also partially part of my process. Sometimes I have split-second ideas, and if I grab them in that moment, I really can make something out of it. I can turn it into something. I can materialize it. I think where I get caught, and maybe a lot of us get caught, is we have the idea and then we overthink it instead of just, okay, let's see how you make this work kind of thing. So yeah, maybe I just need to just do things. Just do things and see what I can make of it. Just do things and see what I can make of it, because I know me and I can make stuff. I can make stuff out of anything. I can make something beautiful out of not a lot. I can make something out of anything. I can make something out of anything. Maybe that's what I've learned. Not really. I guess it's an insight that's arising just now as we're having this conversation. My back itches. I can make something out of anything. I'm no expert, but I can make something out of anything. I'm just gonna give my inner child, my soul, my spirit, whatever, full range to just give me stuff. And I guess present Amy, physical Amy, will use it to make physical stuff. To bring it to life, to bring the idea to life. That is what I'm in the process of cultivating, just in general in my life. bringing ideas that I've had to life, bringing things that have lived in my head for so long to life. I don't know, I feel like I am glad ultimately that I documented this. Not for any particular reason other than I had the idea and I did it. I had the idea and I did it. Now I can look back at it, or other people can watch it. Okay. And or other people can watch it. Hopefully there's something of value in here. Honestly, I'm just in love and just mesmerized at the fact that we can capture time. We, for the first time in human history, or you know what I mean, but like, we can capture time. All these fleeting moments that inevitably just turn into memories. We can capture them. We can make something out of them. We can turn them into something. You know, we can turn them into something they weren't. But I would much rather capture the truth, the raw, authentic happenings. You know, there's a lot of beauty in these moments. And honestly, I think if we could, if I could, I might document it all. There's so much value. There's so much value in these fleeting moments. I mean, maybe that's what I've learned. There's so much value in these fleeting moments. You know, the hours we sleep, they are of value too. Don't get me wrong. But to feel the capacity of what 24 hours is apparently, you know? 24 hours. It sounds like a lot, but it also sounds short. But it can feel like eternity. I'm not really sure how to wrap this up. I'm sure if there's any more wise insights, I will open the camera back up and tell you about them. But for now, this is what I got. If you've made it this far, thank you for coming on this journey with me. I'm sure it was pretty anticlimactic, you know, considering I was like an hour short. Maybe 30 minutes. No, it was like an hour short. I took the 30-minute, you know, destimulate. I know I should have like sat up instead of laying down. Maybe it was that's just what was meant to happen. Again, it wasn't about beating the 24-hour challenge. It was about what I did with that time. It was about what I did with that time. This experiment would have been useless if I used it just to deprive myself of sleep. That's the thing. It would have been useless to just sit up and do nothing with 24 hours on my hands. That's the fucking thing. That's the core. So yeah, I fell asleep an hour before the 24-hour mark. But I did so much more in 24 hours. I'm not going to say than what some people do with their entire lives, but yeah, you know, I think we take this time for granted. And maybe this showed me the value of a couple hours, you know, the value of minutes, and how we can contort time when we dive into things that we love, when we dive into things that interest us, when we dive into our passions, how time can slow or speed up for us. Every time I feel like I work on music, it's like time slows. And maybe it's because I'm so present. And I don't think I've actualized it in that way before, but maybe that's what it is. It's not just like, oh, time is crawling. Maybe time is crawling for me, you know? Maybe time is crawling because I'm really here in the moment. And that's a good thing, you know? I think we're too fixated on checking the boxes. Okay, I'm supposed to do this for 3 hours. All right, set the timer. We would get so much, and we do. It's not that we would, but we do. We get so much more out of our time when we're present, with it. I can get lost in video editing. I think that's why the time just rolls by so fast. It's something I do genuinely enjoy. It's fun for me. Music is deeper. Music is deeper. And again, it really brings me into the present moment. And I used to think that that was such a bad thing because or not a bad thing, but again, I set this marker, okay, I have to work for 3 hours at least, you know, and I'm constantly checking the time. When can I take a break, you know, because it is, you know, it can feel overwhelming to extract something from yourself or feel like you're extracting something. And maybe that's something I also learned during this period. It doesn't have to be this soul extraction. You can just create stuff. You can just make stuff. You can just try things. Yeah. You can just do stuff. Again, if you have a specific vision that you're trying to pull forth, you know, sometimes it is going to quote unquote require some extraction, you know. I think the whole thing is to be present with it, you know. If it matters that much to you, if it matters that much to me, it's worth it to be present with it. And I'm glad that I've come to this realization through this odd means. This weird, maybe not weird, but this unprecedented, spontaneous challenge. I feel like this has a better wrap up. So, 23-hour challenge. Success, I guess. I still want to finish these projects that I have not finished in the allotted time because I fell asleep. And because I've been talking to you. But I'm not tired right now, so I have no doubt that I'll be able to finish these projects tonight. So I'm gonna go do that. Thank you again for coming on this journey with me. Thank you, me, for documenting this. Thank you, me, for having your ideas and bringing them to life, making them real. If anything, this will be something fun for me to look back on as a thing that I did. And you do a lot of things. And you will do many more things than you could even imagine. All right. I suppose this is a good place to wrap it up. I've been trying to wrap this up for like the last, I don't know how many minutes. yeah, mission success, I guess. Okay, so it is 7:37 now. I'm still working on the other projects, and I was reflecting because I felt like perhaps that's something I would have changed in terms of how I spent my time. I did want to prioritize just creating and just being with my instruments and etc. But these were things that I wanted to get done today. So I think I flipped the order of that in a way that I guess wasn't exactly conducive, because I knew if I had started with the tasks that I wanted to get completely done in terms of the music, then the rest of the time could have just been, you know, creating other things, chillaxing, but instead I did it the opposite way. And I think because most of what I had to finish was more so editing, and I didn't take into account that I create videos for the music. So again, it was more like an editing thing. I just didn't take that into account. That was something that went over my head. It probably would have been good if I had looked back at my to-do list, but I felt like I already had the general idea of what I was going to do. Nonetheless, I still think that today was a success, but that is something that I want to key in for my process moving forward. To do things, things that need to get done first, and then we can noodle around and just free flow and create. Yeah, so it's coming up to 8, and I feel like I'm gonna stay up longer than I intended because I want to finish this. And I know I probably said before that I didn't anticipate it taking me this long, but I also spent I don't know how much time sitting there and talking during the times where I could have been working on it. I mean, realistically, it might take me a couple more hours. Considering the making of the video, that's the thing that I didn't take into account like I should have. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is now. I still think that the 24-hour thing was ultimately very successful, and I probably won't go to bed until I'm finished with this. So, all in all, it is a success, and this lesson, I guess, is also a gift from this 24-hour time, you know. Now I know to keep that in mind. Some small things like slip my peripheral, you know. So I'm making this log right now to make sure that I ingrain it somehow. Do the to-do things first, and then we can noodle, okay? Do the to-do things first, and then we can noodle around. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Again, some things just, you know. I think because it's more intimidating for me to go into something that I don't already have a direction on, you know. These things, I know exactly what I need to do, and I know I can do it. The free flow sometimes is more intimidating because it's, again, that blank slate. It's, I don't know how I'm going to start this, where it's going to go. So I think I wanted to face that fear. I wanted to put myself and immerse myself in that raw creation, you know, rather than the things that I had already strategically planned out, sort of thing. But yeah, in this case, it probably just would have been better. And I think moving forward, it would just be better to take care of the things that already have like a trail I'm seeing like a train track, like they already have a direction pretty much. So then you have the time and the freedom, you know, the open freedom, the freedom of mind, you know, those boxes are checked, they're done, so now you can really just open up and create. There was something else I wanted to say. I don't remember now. We did it, sort of. I did it. And I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I guess this is officially the end of the 24-hour challenge. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I have rediscovered and reignited a passion, though, and I know that I've reaffirmed that I can bring my ideas to life. Maybe that's more than enough for a moral of this thing. Hopefully it inspires you to keep it simple. That's what it was. Keep it simple. Not everything has to be extravagant. It's often the simplest things, the simplest gestures that make a very powerful impact. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.